In this video, I'll be discussing reselling news that affects us as resellers, and I'll be discussing a few things as far as tools and strategies that can help us as resellers also. If you're a reseller or you're interested in becoming a reseller, you're in the right place. Just want to say hello to a couple people and welcome you. Say hello to my moderator, Sharon. Sharon, thank you so much for being here and moderating and supporting me. I really appreciate it. Randy, hello. Thanks for being here. One of these days, Randy, I would love to have you on the show. So anyway, guys, the notice did go out, so I'm sure the chat will be filling in very shortly. And like I always say, I don't like to keep the people watching the replay waiting. So I'm going to get started very shortly. And like I said, I have some news for you guys, some things that affect us as resellers, such as, the increase in postal rates, et cetera, et cetera. So let me get started on that, and I'm sure we'll be filling in very shortly. So I will be reading from my document. So Sharon, if you can moderate the chat and see if there's any questions that might come up while I'm reading this, and I'll get back to them very quickly. Okay, so basically, one thing I want to bring your attention to, which I'm sure you're aware of, if it affected you, is eBay was holding some seller funds and another parent payment glitch with the eBay's managed payment system. Quite a few people were posting that eBay's managed payments were declined yesterday morning, the 12th, and apparently it was resolved sometime later in the day. Also, eBay provided updates on 2021 shipping rates. As most of you probably already know, if you don't know, USPS rates will increase on January 24th. They pulsed them up right before the holidays, and they dropped them down, and then they bring them back up again January 24th. eBay said for its listings using calculated shipping option, its shipping calculator would automatically update the shipping charge a buyer sees based on the location and details sellers provide on package and delivery service. eBay reminded sellers to use flat rate pricing to check to see if they will cover the higher rates. You may have to raise your flat rate charges to maintain the same profit margins, it noted. eBay also advised sellers to offer free shipping to review listings to see if they can absorb extra costs if you should adjust your listings. I typically use flat rate. So obviously you want to adjust your rates, and prices go up. It's the cost of doing business. You want to adjust your rates up. Obviously you want to try to keep the same kind of profit margins. Ideally, we like to increase our profit margins. And as I always tell you guys, just a reminder, you are paying fees on the shipping costs. Back in the day, some of you are probably aware of it. Most of you are probably aware of, I should say, there were some sneaky resellers that were charging something like $1 or $2 or $3 for an item, and then charging like $24.99 for shipping, and trying to avoid paying eBay commission on basically the sale price of the item. So eBay said, nope, that's not going to happen. We're going to charge total fees on the final value. So again, that's what happened. A couple things also. As of December 27th, I don't typically use UPS. I'm sure some of you do. You would probably know better than I do. But as effective as December 27th, USP rates on eBay labels had not increased. FedEx did increase as of January 4th. The rates for FedEx Ground, FedEx 2-Day, FedEx Home Delivery, and FedEx increased. USPS effective January 24th, as we said, the rates went up, or should go up, I should say, January 24th. Priority Mail is going up approximately 3.5%. Priority Mail Express, 1.2%. First class packages are going up 6.5%. Parcel Select, 4.9%. And Smart Post Service will increase approximately 4.9%. As I said earlier, most of you are probably already in eBay's managed payment system now. I told you guys it was added just a few weeks ago. eBay sent out an email to sellers in some of the categories, such as coins, paper money, bullion, etc., that they are now going to be allowed to sell them, because when they started the managed payments, you weren't allowed to sell those things. And there's a lot of people that sell coins on eBay. So now, as of January 25th, you will be allowed to sell, like I said, coins, paper money, bullion, etc., on the eBay platform, or if you're a part of the managed payment system. They also said that they would activate sellers in those categories had pre-registered beginning January 13th. Also begin out sending notifications to register for managed payments to sellers in those categories who have not pre-registered yet. I tell you guys, I typically try to stay up to date on the various reseller Facebook groups, e-newsletters. I also subscribe to several newsletters that affect us as resellers. So one of the things that I received the other day was a newsletter from Not Your Dad's CPA. So I just want to touch on that, go through some of the things that he had spoken about. Depending upon the volume that you do, I would say definitely get some kind of an accountant. Preferably use some kind of software system. But anyway, at a minimum, I would say get an account if you're doing any kind of volume. And obviously, you got to keep track of your sales, expenses, etc. So this is from Not Your Dad's CPA, his newsletter. His name is Mark. He specializes actually in resellers. That's supposedly the majority of his business. So in his newsletter, he says the most common mistakes that people make when they are just starting out. The first one is starting a business with less than stellar record keeping. Again, guys, even if you have a small business, you got to keep records. You have to monitor your expenses, your cost of goods, your sales, et cetera, et cetera. Keep track of all that in a spreadsheet or whatever you do. Or if you have software, that's even better yet. Number two is worrying too much about setting up your business to reach your goals. What you need to do is just start. Get in there and get your feet wet. There may be some circumstances that will require a certain type of business setup, but that's not the case for most of us. Your business is sole proprietorship by default. If you want to have an LLC or get a business license, fine. But not having those things does not mean you're not a business. Again, some people jump into it, feet first or head first, I guess I should say, and they pay the cost to incorporate, et cetera, et cetera. That's not necessary if you're just starting out as a small-time seller. You're selling things around your house and you're just going through thrift shops. And, when you get to the point where you're doing some kind of decent volume, you probably should consider, if you're on Amazon, et cetera, and you're doing any kind of volume, you might want to consult with your accountant and, consult with him as far as if he feels you should be an LLC or et cetera, et cetera. Mistake number two is not keeping track of your numbers. I guess that's technically mistake number three. Some people make a lot of money selling online. Some people lose a lot of money. And a surprising amount of people have no idea if they are making or losing money. I bring up Casey quite a bit, the Rockstar Flipper, and Casey brings this up also. You got to know, if you're just selling stuff and you're selling a lot of stuff and you're not making any money, what's the purpose? You got to keep track of your costs, your cost of goods sold, your expenses, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're not keeping track of that, you have no idea what you're making. Keeping track of your numbers will give you power. Your numbers will tell you a story, and then based on that story, you can know what decision you should be making to change or improve that story. Whether that be changing your strategy, hiring a virtual assistant, or buying less inventory, all these actions that could potentially help your business that you may not have considered otherwise. And that'll drive, I'm sorry, that's actually another subject he was covering. Number three is trying to do everything yourself. Guys, if you didn't see the show last week with Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler, I strongly recommend you check it out. Chris is extremely knowledgeable, a great guy, and working for a great charity, American Cancer Society. So if you haven't seen that video, please check it out. This did come up in our conversation last week. Basically, Mark saying Not Your Dad CPA, you need accountability and direction from someone who has been where you are trying to go. Who is helping you? Who is holding you accountable? The answer is no one. Then stop and go get someone right now, i.e. an accountability partner, which is what Chris talked about in last week's show. In addition, you can join a mastermind group, or you can start one on your own if need be. Get active on social media. Hire a CPA. Get a mentor. It's vital to reaching your goal. Okay, guys, I'm going to pop back in the chat and say hello to some people. Hey, there's my buddy, Mr. Bill, Noma the Frog. I was thinking about you earlier today, Bill. By the way, I'm just going to touch a little bit of sports, Bill. We're not getting James Harden. He was just traded to the Brooklyn Nets. So you were concerned about us trading, the 76ers trading for James Harden. He just supposedly signed or will be signing with the Brooklyn Nets. So anyway, I want to say hello to the Cherry Picker, Randy, and Michelle Lofton. And who else is in the chat? Nightbot's in the chat moderating. Okay. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Again, if you didn't check out last week's video, it was a really great video. I did pin, you would love to be part of the accountability group, trying to stay accountable to yourself right now. Yeah, we also talked about having like a dry erase board and putting goals on it. Maybe you want to have a listing goal and put, I want to list X amount of listings per day. And then you keep track of it. And then, like Chris was saying, what he does, he evaluates all his goals. He has like business goals, personal goals. He wants to go walk, he wants to go to the gym, et cetera, et cetera. So he'll list all those goals. And then if he doesn't make all his goals on Sunday, he updates that, and he tries to, if he doesn't make enough listings, he tries to update those and get them up to that number where he wants to be. Bill, it's funny you're here. I'm actually going to bring a tip up. It was kind of sort of related to what you speak about with your athletic shoes. So I did want to bring up a few things and just have a general chat, guys, because I know that the chat typically doesn't fill in until about 10 after, a quarter after. So again, I'm getting dry. Every time I do the show myself, I get very dry. I don't know what it is here. Part of the problem is I don't have a humidifier in this house, so it gets very, very dry when the heat comes on. You went over your goals and you're live earlier today. I did see you posted. I think you posted on Instagram that you did a live. I'm gonna have to check that out. Again, I'd be more than happy to have you on my show. I was actually getting to when I got sidetracked, when I got thirsty. I did pin a post in the comment section. Again, guys, I'm always looking for resellers to bring on. I was supposed to have, well, I shouldn't say supposed to have. I was hoping to have on an Amazon seller that does a lot of retail arbitrage. I reached out to a couple of friends of mine that had contacts with her, and we were trying to get a hold of her. Her Facebook account was hacked, so she was kind of hesitant to respond. So apparently she did get back to my friends this morning when I went to post my Instagram post about the show. I did see it, and I have her contact information. So hopefully we'll have an Amazon seller one that does a lot of reselling, just say retail arbitrage on next month. I should say next month, next week. My brain is like frozen today. I'm sorry, guys. Next week, I'm hoping. So again, guys, I did post in the, like I said, the pinned post in the comments. Always looking for resellers to join me. I think it's more interesting because you guys all have different strategies and tips and tricks, and a lot of us have learned from other resellers. Like I said, I watched quite a few of the reselling YouTube videos when I first started out, and at this point now, I watch probably a handful of them, and I watch a lot of YouTube creator shows. But I've learned quite a bit. I mean, especially from Casey the Rockstar Flipper. That's why I mention Casey all the time. But he really knows what he's talking about. So I've learned quite a bit. So if you guys are interested in kind of giving back to the reselling community, I talk about Maggie Doodle all the time. That's why Maggie Doodle is getting involved, doing more videos now. She wants to get back because she's learned quite a bit from me and other resellers. Sharon is starting I'm sorry, Sharon. I'm out of brain freeze. My brain, a podcast. I'm sorry. My brain today is just my allergies are knocking me out. Sharon is starting a podcast. So again, she feels it's important to give back to the community. She's learned quite a bit. She wants to give back to the community. And Sharon will be on our show sometime in February, talking about Facebook Marketplace. I want to talk to her about shipping. She's very good with shipping, and also talk about her new podcast. So. And Sharon, if you want to put your Instagram post in there, that would be fine with me. If you want to put that, Sharon's trying to sign up people when it's a new moon. Okay. Well, if you want to put your Instagram post in there, Sharon, be more than welcome to do that. And people want to sign up so they can be a part, find out about your podcast. You're more than welcome to do that. Also Lisa C, thank you for being here, Lisa C. I haven't seen you for a while. Hopefully you're watching the replays. I always appreciate you being here, and I know you're a very knowledgeable reseller. Again, if you're interested in joining the show, one point, guys, I did kind of throw it out there in one of my posts earlier. I know it's not kind of like a last minute thing, but if anybody wants to join me and just talk about reselling, if you're camera ready, I mean, sometimes people aren't set up for, they're not camera ready. There's Mr. Chris, just talking about the man, the myth, the legend. So, yeah, we were Chris, I had talked earlier about some of the things like about accountability partner, and I had just gotten a newsletter from Not Your Dad CPAs. He has a lot of resellers as his clients, and basically that was one of his tips. that if you don't have anybody you're connected to via social media, or you're not in an accountability group, or you don't have a mentor, definitely consider getting an accountability partner. It helps. It keeps you accountable. I know I have to do it eventually. Like I said, I'm trying to fight through these health issues, and when I get to that point, I'm definitely going to do it. You know, I like I said, I connect through social media and things, but I mean, accountability partner really does help. So I want to talk about a couple things, guys. And Michelle, I know you know some of these things. Bill, if you're still in the chat, you know one of the other things I'm going to mention. I want to bring up a couple tools that I use, or we should use as resellers. Everyone uses your ideas, Chris. All right. Well, you're a smart guy. What can I tell you? I wanted to bring up a couple tools that I use in reselling, and I'm sure quite a few of you use it. And Michelle, I'm sure you might use some of these things. I want to talk about magic erasers. Some of the usages, they say, can remove rust or burnt on liquids from coffee makers' hot plates. So I guess if you're selling appliances and you need to clean up your appliances, you can use that. Or residue from slow cookers. If you're selling your slow cooker, the handles can get something. I just want to remind you guys that they're a little they can scratch basically a little bit. They're little scratched plastics. So you got to be careful with them because they're a little abrasive, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I'm just curious what you guys use magic erasers for in your reselling business. Michelle, I know typically you probably use those. Chris, you use this as well, I'm assuming, right? Using this for cleaning different things. It's great for cleaning vinyl toys. Okay. As far as like, I was a little concerned with using that because it might scratch. So I guess you got to be a little careful. You just press lightly, I guess, Chris. It's great for cleaning vinyl toys. Okay. So I wanted to bring that up. I love them until they cleaned out the outdoor lock with them, which made it start to rust. Ooh. That's unusual, Lisa. Because they're telling you to use it for rust, and then it made it rust. So I guess if you have too much, if it's too wet, it's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. The sheets work really good. You use them on shoes, plush, and plastic. Okay, great. If that doesn't work, use Goo Gone. The only thing with Goo Gone, Sharon, is, and I do like Goo Gone, and I was going to bring that down, but I'm a little hesitant because it's kind of oil based. If you're using something like, this is one of my do as I say, not as I do. I was going to start labeling things. I got a deal on this. I'm always looking for deals. I sign up to these various, e-deal newsletters. And I buy things for myself for personal use and for business use. But anyway, so if there's like, say, price tags or something in here and you have trouble getting off and you use Goo Gone, you just got to remember that that's oil based. So you got to be real careful because that can damage the plastic. So took out the protecting coating of the metal. Yeah, I guess it can. Okay, guys. So that was one of the things I wanted to bring up to you. The other thing was, and I mention this all the time, and you all know that used jeans are the bane of my life. But I sold several pair over the weekend, so I was happy. I'm listing several pair. Trying to get 2 to 3 pairs up every day of the jeans listed. So I want to bring that up. You like using, let's see, Michelle. You like using Peak for metal, fiberglass, and ceramics. All right, Michelle, why don't you enlighten us? Is that the name of the brand? Just Peak, P-E-E-K? That's interesting. So again, that's why I want to have some of you guys. I mean, I appreciate you guys being in the chat. That's why I want to have some of you guys come out on with my live stream, so you can share some of your tips and tricks. And that's why I'm here, basically, to help you guys and share ideas and have a kind of like a drama-free zone where we can share ideas. And reselling is a lonely business. It can be a lonely business. I'm single. I'm by myself. I'm sure there are other resellers that are single and don't have families or whatever. And reselling is pretty lonely, especially with what's going on in the world today. So, it's a place where you guys can kind of hang out and talk about reselling. Pro tip, olive oil instead of Goo Gone. Okay. There you go. Mr. Chris with the pro tips. The man, the myth, the legend. I tell you, the man knows what he's talking about. He definitely does. Pro tip. One of the other things I want to bring up, guys, and they used to call these bread bags. Let's see if this one says bread bags on it. Reach over here. Yes. Actually, no, it doesn't say that. These used to be called bread bags. Now they actually have a different, oh, I guess it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. These are from Walmart, and they are one, that's not really doing too well with my lighting here. They are 1 gallon twist tie bags. So it works out to about 3.5 cents per bag, because there's 100 in a package. So they're roughly, $3.50. So what I do is I use them for my jeans. This is a pair of jeans that I actually use them for inventory. I put the codes on here. You probably can't see that. Well, actually, you can see that. I put the code on there, and then I take them out of the bag, and then I put a clean bag on when I go to ship it, and I tape it down, and I put like a thank you sticker on that. So again, guys, if you're shipping anything that can get wet, anything can get wet, but you want to make sure you protect with plastic. I know there's some of the Amazon sellers and some of the more high volume sellers by the do not suffocate bags and the higher quality bags. But just to protect this, like I said, what I do is if I'm shipping in like in a padded flat rate envelope, that protects it, and because that's kind of like a vinyl already. And then I put that in the plastic bag over the jeans, and that protects us as well. You should see, you use them as well, Lisa. Great. Well, see that? Great minds think alike. I have a ton of those twist ties. It was funny. So I go to Walmart, right? And I said, I have two things on my mind. And I don't like shopping at Walmart. First of all, it's too big, and I hate, I talk about things, trying to avoid going out and with what's going on in the world. And I'm not supposed to mention on YouTube. Apparently, I can get, not that I'm monetized, but apparently I can get demonetized. But anyway, I was going for two things. I was going for the bread bags, and I wanted to look and see if they have any computer monitors on display. I had mentioned the guys, I know all of you aren't here all the time during my live streams, but I had mentioned I had bought a computer for live streaming. Hey, Wanda, thanks for joining us. I bought a computer for live streaming because I want to eventually use my Canon M50 camera to kind of up my game a little bit. I'm going to get software, kind of just improve the picture quality. Just try to do it as best as I can with my budget. But anyway, I talked about how they left my computer on my front step. But anyway, long story short, I digress. I wanted to look at some computer monitors. So I go to Walmart. I'm walking around the electronics section. I don't see anything. It's like, this is crazy. And I see like 3 or 4 people at the counter. I think it was like a couple customers talking to the clerk or whatever. So I walk up. Apparently, they were all clerks. So go figure. They were just standing around at Walmart. Okay. So anyway, so I asked for them, and they didn't have any monitor. I think they had one monitor on display, and there was the real tiny ones. I want to get like the lower profile ones, like the 30-inch ones or whatever. So it'll make it easier for me when I live stream. I can have my software up on the one side. I can have the chat up, and I can have the video up on another part of the screen. Hey, J Dog, thanks for joining us. So that way I can have I can have like several things up on the screen, because right now I just have the little laptop, and basically the issue with the laptop was it didn't have a strong enough video processor. It didn't have enough memory, et cetera, et cetera. So it didn't really work really well. I couldn't tie in my camera. It was lagging, and it didn't work properly. So that's my tip about getting if you're going to get involved with YouTube, get a better computer. I don't know if you noticed last week, Chris was using his camera, and in fact, he mentioned it, and then his battery was getting low. And he showed how he was using his camera, and even at only 720 DPI, which is what StreamYard broadcasts in, when don't have the paid version. You see the little duck up there. That means I have the free version. But I am going to buy software. So guys, I'm going to put in the chat, and again, this is kind of just throwing it out there. If anybody would like to join me, it's not a big deal. It's informal. If you just want to talk reselling, I just love talking about reselling, because like I said, it makes the show go a lot quicker when I have somebody to talk to and share the chat with. We all can't be Chris and be dropping pro tips left and right, but we can talk about reselling. I just want to check my notes to see if I had anything else on there. You know what I am going to bring up, guys? And again, this is kind of just my personal thoughts. If you're not using it already, consider, and I'll probably end up knocking off my, I have this here because I'm going to set up my computer here. Consider getting a wireless mouse and keyboard. I've actually bought 4 of these over the years. I love these. It's so much easier when you're working, doing any kind of work on your computer, to just have that wireless keyboard and mouse. You could be working, kind of remotely, it could be away from your computer. Like say you have like your computer set up on the corner of your desk and you can be typing, in front of you, or your mouse in front of you. It makes things really easy. So that was one of my other tips. And again, I did show you guys the brother P-Touch. So if you want to get organized and you're more organized than me, I think they're only like about $15 to $20 when they go on sale. So again, you can just you can tag your bins or whatever, or your shelving. Again, that's an option as well. So were there anyone that wanted to join us in the live stream? Chris, I know you are super busy. You have a left-handed mouse. Okay, so you're left-handed, Michelle. I didn't realize they even made that. Okay. I'll share something with you. Back in the day, the Catholic schools converted everyone that was left-handed to right-handers. So apparently they didn't want to teach you how to write left-handed. So I'm going back like back in the 30s and 40s when my mother was in school. So my mother actually ended up being ambidextrous because she could learn how to write with her right hand, even though she was left-handed. So she was ambidextrous. She used her right and left hand. So, that was something cool. You're not in a great position to join live, or you would. I know you would, Chris. I appreciate that. Hope New Year is being good to you. Yeah. Michelle, I know Michelle said she was looking for a car. That's something I have to do. My car is like I wouldn't call it a rust bucket, but it needs a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's just not worth putting in it. Both your parents were left-handed, and all the kids are right-handed. Yeah, that's kind of odd. Yeah. I remember, Michelle, when your brother broke down on the he was like 90 miles away from your home or something, and the tow truck wouldn't give him a lift, and they couldn't get anybody to come out to pick him up, and then. I remember even before all this stuff happened, when I was working in retail, I went out on lunch. I was only like a mile and a half from my store. Maybe a mile and a half. And my radiator broke. I thought it was my transmission fluid, but I didn't realize the transmission fluid runs through the radiator. I guess it cools it somehow. So I saw transmission fluid. I said, oh my God, my transmission broke. So here I had it towed to the transmission place where I had the transmission repaired before. And anyway, so they wouldn't even give me a ride anywhere. They said, no, we can't give you a ride. We can't go out of our way to give you a ride. So I ended up going to the store, and they eventually sent somebody out to pick me up. But I can kind of half understand it now. That stinks what happened with Michelle's brother, but with everything that's going on, I guess they got to be super careful. You use scissors with your left hand and you write with your right hand. Okay. Hey, Craig. I put in the, I don't know if you're working and you're just observing, or, if you want to join I would love to have you on. I have had you on the show in ages. I just went through some, reselling news and a couple tips as far as tools that we're using. So I'm just looking if anybody wants to join me. Probably keep it to around 45 minutes today, guys. So we're a little over half an hour right now. Try to keep it around 45 minutes. So I wanted to bring up some, some reselling, just general chat, guys. Maybe if you can mention some, Michelle, you had mentioned that. I should have written that down. In fact, I'm going to scroll through, Michelle, and see if that is still showing in my chat. What you said. I know Chris said he uses the olive oil. I'm trying to see, Michelle, if you're still. Okay, I think it's here. Okay, let me put that tip back up here again. I'm going to write that down, Michelle. I'm going to look that up on Amazon as soon as I get off the air with the show. You like using Peak for metal, fiberglass ceramics. Okay. And definitely going to look into that. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I guess you can see okay. Yep. Okay, I'm having a brain freeze. Like, Veronica?
Yep.
Damn, I actually remember something today. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
I just wanted to join you real quick because I know we've got some people on the chat, and since we're talking about reselling, on my show, I was going through a bin of some of my clothes, and I actually ran into, or pulled out, actually, a pair of these Levi's. And, you know, I know you hate jeans, but
I'm glad you said that, because I was actually going to bring something up about jeans. Go ahead.
And these.
Do you mind if I put you on full screen? Is that okay?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
These
you're a YouTuber, so that doesn't bother you, right?
Yeah. These are orange label Levi's.
Never seen orange label Levi's.
So I did like a search on orange label Levi's, and they're pretty valuable, but there's no other tag.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's no other tag on the inside either. So I think they're fake. But
that's what came to my mind. I wonder if they're counterfeit.
Yeah, and the buttons say, you know, it says 575 on the back of the buttons.
Right.
You know, so I mean, but there's no other tags on these jeans. So it's like, I don't even want to risk trying to list them,
right,
if they're going to be fake. But I mean, if anybody out there in the chat knows about these, it'd be great. If you can give me any feedback or see if
absolutely. Are you a part of Casey's reselling group?
I am, yeah.
The only problem with Casey's group, there's a lot of trolls in that group. I go on occasionally in his paid group. I typically don't go into the regular group unless I might be just scrolling. I'll see something I can, give people help. I'll do that. But sometimes it just gets insane. And he's, in fact, I was kind of hoping Casey might pop in because he actually liked my Instagram post. It's like, wow, dude, why don't you pop in my show every once in a while? I don't know if you follow Casey on Instagram. He was sitting by the pool today doing his work.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that must be nice. But I mean, I guess I think he's paying $400 a night. Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's like the dream right there, just to be chilling in front of a pool.
In front of a pool as you're working on with your Wi-Fi and everything.
That's right.
Crazy. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, I would probably post that on one of the couple of the different Facebook groups and just get insight. You know who might know? I'm thinking possibly.
Chris actually posted here that he thinks that they're legit.
Okay, Chris knows. Chris, where would Veronica go to look for that to kind of verify that? I wonder if there's any kind of groups that actually have something just about Levi jeans. There may be even Facebook groups just on Levi jeans. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Can do. Yeah,
just search eBay.
And I searched eBay. Like I said, I did the orange tab search, the orange tab label search, and they did come out. I found them. It just, most of them do have that, the Levi tab on the top. And this one there's no labeling on these at all, other than that. That's it. And
what was again? I've never found these in a while. What is it? Chris, I'm sure Chris would know. Is it the Big E Levi's? Is that the one that's like the Golden Grail? Is that what they're called, the Big E?
Yeah, I've heard about those too, but I never found those. I never found those in
the wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, I would love to have you on the show. I'm not rushing you. You can stay as long as you like. Would like to have you on the show one day. What typically do you sell? Mostly clothing?
I try to sell pretty much anything that'll make me profit.
That's one of the business models.
So I mean, I was trying to go to getting items that were only going to give me $15 to $20 profit, but I did the jump on the first of the year to give myself the challenge and the push of upgrading to a premium store. So I went from the
Okay.
300 to the 1,000, just to give me that motivation to fill my store. And then 7 days later, we get those, unlimited listings. So I've just been trying to plug away and doing at least a minimum of 10 listings a day.
Okay. So how are you sourcing right now? Where are you located, by the way? What area?
I'm in Fountain, Colorado Springs, pretty much.
Colorado Springs. Okay.
I'm in between Colorado Springs and Pueblo.
Okay. And how are the thrift shops and everything in there? Are you just wear a mask and you can thrift in stores?
Yeah. I always wear a mask right now because my husband has a lung issue, so I ain't playing with this stuff. So
no,
Yeah.
no, we're not playing with this
I don't
stuff.
care what people think about it. I don't care your opinions. I'm gonna wear a mask because my husband has messed up lungs from Iraq. So that's it.
I want to see what Chris is saying here. Let me pop this on. It's going to cover part of your body, but if you can read Chris's, orange tabs are still sometimes used in vintage reproductions. Dark color tab with an orange carrot is the signature of Levi's fresh produce line from the 70s. Okay, and he has another comment here. Veronica most likely has a reprint with the label removed. So a reprint, Chris, you meaning like a repro? Like a reproduction, like a later version of the original one. He says reprint. I'm not sure what he means by a reprint. Just curious I'm sure I'll answer in the chat. That's interesting. Yeah, I if I could sell men's jeans, I wouldn't mind so much selling men's jeans because I kind of have it down to a science, how to pack them, how to store them, how to ship them. But with the women's jeans, and I don't know what's popular, what's not popular, and I buy them, and then people ask questions. They'll say stuff. Well, will this jean fit me? It's like, well, my advice to you is if you never wear that particular style of jeans, please don't buy it from me. Because it's $8 now to ship tight and flat rate envelopes. So if they say, oh, he measured it wrong, or it's the wrong color, you get a item not as described, then you're out $16 and 99. I know you're not supposed to do that. 99 times out of 100, I just say keep it. Donate it to friends, give it to charity. Yeah, so, it's like a reissue. Okay.
Would I put that on the description or on the title of the item? Put like a reissue?
Lisa says sometimes people remove the big labels on the back because they have the size on them. Okay. I don't want people to know what my size is, Lisa. Although I have been on a special diet, I lost some weight. I need to lose more, but I've been on a special diet. If they were from the 60s or 70s, you should be able to tell by just the look and the feel. Okay. I love Miss Valerie.
I think that's a good idea. I will give that a try, Chris.
Yep. Valerie, I'll message you after the show. Beth did message me with that phone number of the person we're trying to get on for next week. So I will message you after the show. Yeah, that's interesting. I never find all these like the Madewell jeans. I know they sell very well. I've never ever seen a pair of Madewell ever. I guess
a Madewell sweater recently.
You found Madewell sweater, and I know the jeans sell very well. If Bill's still in the chat, he does very well with jeans. I think he's about 75% jeans and athletic shoes. That's like 75% of what he sells.
Yep, and Bill. Clothes, glass, hard goods, plush.
And you do plush. I don't think there's somebody on that specializes in plush. I know there's several people that specialize in plush. And my only issue with plush is I live in a row house, like a row house or a townhouse, whatever you guys call it. And I don't have a lot of storage, and that takes unless you get like small ones. And I don't know how well the small ones sell. I know I saw one at Marshall's the other day, and on clearance it was $150. It was like a giraffe. It was like, It's like 5 foot high. It was $150 at Marshall's. Yeah. It's like, my word.
No, the most I've made out of a plush was actually have a video on my channel about it. And the brand called Eden, EDEN. Okay. The little bear. There's a bear that's is a primary color bear. I sold one I had for $75.
Okay.
And
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 what did you
there's
pay for it? Did you just thrift it?
yes, at the New Horizons thrift store, I paid $1.99 for it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I got $75 for it, and then I'm always on the lookout for another Eden. The same brand as Eden, and it's like a pastel colored, like a little bear. It's just a little bear. It's about yay big, maybe 6-7 inches big,
Okay.
and pastel colored. That one sells for about $100. Like
Wow.
consistently, we will sell for about $100 right now.
And I know some of the Build-A-Bears sell. I don't know which ones. I don't know how you research. You're a plush person. How do you know which Build-A-Bears sell and which ones don't sell? You just research on eBay, or how would you know?
I mean, you can do research. A lot of regular plain Build-A-Bears you can get, between $15 to $19, and just with free shipping. There are some rare ones that are out there that you can get more. Like I sold Build-A-Bear, a Hello Kitty Build-A-Bear. I sold that one for $54 on Mercari.
Okay. Hello Kitty. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay, there's a good question for you. Plush on Mercari, or you just cross list Mercari and eBay, or where does plush sell better for you?
I cross list. I cross post a lot. A lot of my plush mostly sells on eBay, but I've sold on Mercari, Poshmark. The only
Poshmark.
sale that I've had on Depop was a plush. I've sold plush on Kitizen and Facebook Marketplace.
Okay, you keep on talking. I'm going to sneeze here. I'm going to mute myself. Oh, thought I was going to sneeze. I went to Walmart today and I felt terrible because I sneezed right. I mean, I had my mask on, but I turned around and covered myself up. I sneezed in the express line at Walmart. It's like, uh-oh. I'm not sick. Believe me. I didn't say that, but anyway. Yeah. So typically though, Build-A-Bear, I mean, to me, $15-$20 with free shipping. If you only paid $1,
Yeah.
now how would you ship them? Do you use pirate ship with a like the cubic shipping, or how do you typically ship your
On
plush?
eBay, I usually just use the eBay shipping. Mercari, I will use pirate ship, and Poshmark and everything else. For Facebook Marketplace, they pay for shipping, and Poshmark, of course, they pay for shipping as well. So
Right. So when you're top rated plus with eBay,
I'm top rated with
because you don't
eBay.
offer the free
I've only,
returns. Yeah, I don't blame you for that.
yeah,
Right, because to
doing
be
the free
top rated
returns.
plus, you have to offer free returns.
Free.
You do free returns?
I do returns, but not free returns.
Right.
No.
Well, that's why you're top rated, not top rated plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we have to pay for a return, but people work the system, like I said, because they're so used to Amazon, and they end up they claim it's an INAT, so they get free returns typically anyway. But you gotta be careful. So again, so what about with what kind of glassware do you find that kind of stuff in Colorado, as far as like the higher end things like the Laliques and those type of things, and Wedgwood and
Well, I actually just listed some Murano glass.
I don't know if you saw the show I had when I had Jen on. She's really knowledgeable.
Oh.
She and her husband are very knowledgeable about that. Oh, that's beautiful. Let me put you on the main screen here.
This is the glass that I just listed this, and it's
wow. So I'd be so scared to ship that. So I mean, I guess I'm sure lots of bubble wrap, but typically, how would you do like bubble wrap that in a box, or how would you do that?
Yes. Well, actually, my husband is my shipping person.
Okay.
So he tapes this. We'll bubble wrap it. He has his system that he does, and he'll box these. We used to be zero breakage at all, and then when we started having the budget issues, I guess they closed down the sorting station here in Colorado Springs.
Right.
And they had to start sending everything to Denver, and my breakage went up like 300%.
Wow.
So after that, I had to start like double and triple wrapping items. And I mean, I've gotten all the breakage down now, but it's been taking a lot more packing material to protect the glass.
Well, Sharon, when you come on the show, we're definitely going to talk about shipping because Sharon thinks shipping is so easy, and I'm sure it's easy for her, but it's not easy for a lot of us.
Oh, it's super easy for my husband.
He's good at it too. Yeah.
He looks at it and he knows what he needs to do. But I mean, he used to pack Connexes and stuff like that for shipping overseas, so
Oh,
he knows
okay.
how to package stuff.
Oh, I know what I want to bring up. I'm glad you mentioned that. Did you use the pirate ship for the simple export rate? Do you use them at all to ship overseas? In fact, I was going to bring up. All these things run through my mind sometimes at night. I should take a piece of or just write the notes as they come to my mind. I'm thinking about what to do today. I wanted to talk about the export rate. Do you have any particular countries that you exclude? I mean, I know there's issues. I mean, like with Russia and some of these other countries, and
yeah, I mean, like I exclude
China
and anywhere where I know that we have like issues that I know we're going to have issues with shipping to. Right. I don't ship there.
I mean, I know like New Zealand and Australia and Italy and France and England. That's all easy. Not easy, but I mean that's typically no issues. But I'd be afraid that like some of these other countries, I'd be afraid that because there's typically issues with the postal service. The guy knows if the customer's going to get it or not, and then you don't know if they got it or they didn't get it, and they claim they didn't get it. It's like you got to assume they didn't get it. Yep. Do you know off the top of the head what countries you exclude?
The Middle East, as I exclude the Middle East area, Pakistan, all that other stuff.
Right.
Some places in Central America.
Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of issues with Central America. I had an issue with Central America. I don't know if it was Brazil or
Brazil.
I think it was Brazil. I had an issue with
South America. A lot of South America.
Brazil was the worst. Thanks you tell me now, Chris. I got when I first got into business, I got screwed on a pair of jeans. The guy said they were altered. They weren't altered. I think he had a pair that were altered, and he showed those in his pictures because these jeans weren't altered. I know that. So he said they were altered. And it's like, and I shipped it. So I paid like, I don't know, $15 or $20 to ship it to the guy. So he's going to pay another $20 to ship it back to me. I would be out of pocket $40. So I just said, just keep it. So basically, I called the guy a liar in a nice way. But it's like, I was only in the business for like 3 months at the time when that happened.
Oh, wow. Well, I just got my very first, speaking of glass and stuff like that, I had an international sale that went through the global shipping
program.
And I have a person that, is telling me he just wants his money back. And I don't know when I was like, that's not how it works. You need to, if your item arrived damaged through the global shipping, you need to request a return that it was damaged because it's through their program. I don't just he wants me to pay him to refund him what he paid me for the item plus what he paid for shipping, which was like $40-something. And it's like, no.
that's not happening, right?
I'm not going to do that. So I responded to him very nicely, and I told him to please start the return process, and I would refund him his money.
I typically don't use GSP, but do they typically handle that when it's shipped through them, right?
He even sent me in the message. He goes, well, if you don't want to refund me my money, then I can just go through PayPal and I'll probably get all of it back. He like straight out said that in the message. So, and I told him, I was like,
sounds like a scammer to me. Yeah.
I said, I'm sorry. I said, you need to start the return process properly, please.
Yeah, but doesn't eBay handle that when it's GSP because they handle the shipping? Don't they handle that? They process that?
Yes. They're supposed to handle all of that. And that's the thing. Even if I packaged it completely perfectly at Kentucky, when it gets there, they can always open it and repackage it.
Exactly. They can alter it and they can repackage it. Right. Chris says you're leaving money on the table. Yeah.
Yeah. GSP is great.
Until something like that happens. But I guess they should support you.
Yep.
eBay should support you. I mean, I'm hearing all the issues with the delayed shippings, and they were making their resellers refund, for cost of goods and shipping, and it's like, what an eBay support the sellers. I know it's a lot of money, but
I've been lucky so far. I had 2 people that messaged me about their item, and I just messaged them, I showed them, I sent them screenshots of their tracking of where it was. And I showed them the screenshot of where even eBay was saying to please be patient. And I just kept them updated, and I got no negatives. I got no refund requests. So as of right now, I've been lucky. I still have a few things that are stuck, but the people I'm communicating with the customer, so it's still okay.
Again, it's funny. I was in a YouTube chat earlier today, and we were talking about different. It was actually a YouTube chat, and I talked about when you assume. I was going to say I assume, but when you assume it's it's ASSUME. So I don't know if you heard that saying about when you assume what happens. But I would assume that after the holidays, it's not quite as bad. I had a doctor's appointment Monday, and I used to go into this not regional post, just a big post office. And last time I was there, I had to stand in line for like almost 40 minutes. This past Monday, I walked right up. There was nobody in the place. So I would assume that they're getting caught up with their shipping. There shouldn't be as many lost packages. But like I said, what happens when you assume sometimes. So. Was there anything you wanted to drop as far as any words of knowledge or anything? And like I said, I'll reach out to you, and eventually you can have you on the show. And we'll if you want, just you said you follow me on Instagram, so you can message me on Instagram. Probably be the best, or email me. Either way. Anything you wanted, like any pro tips, like Chris has, that you want to drop on our viewers right now? Anything? I mean, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but anything that is reselling, like tips you might have?
Just reach out to people. This was actually a big step for me, actually, to reach out to Adam, but it is a lonely job sometimes. So
Definitely.
Reach out, share your knowledge, share your passions, and just put yourself out there and make this year the year where you're going to find yourself. And the message that I try to send to everybody is just try to be sweet. Just be sweet to everybody. That way, we won't have so many sour.
That's what I try to do. I mean, sometimes it bites me in the rear end, but I try to be nice as nice as I can to everybody. And I know you watched the show before, but like I said, both my parents were school teachers. My sister's a school teacher. So I kind of, it's in my blood to try to help people. And that's how I was taught growing up, be nice to people. And, back in the day, they used to be nice to you. And now, who knows, but pay it forward, and hopefully it'll come back to you. And so I think treat people as you would want to be treated. And I talk about all the time on the show, under promise and over deliver. I mean, if something is in very good condition, maybe you list it as good condition, and the customer gets it's like, wow, this is a lot better than what the seller said it was. Or, I mean, really be up to date on, getting back the messages and responding to messages. And like you said, pack things really well. Just get that extra bit, try to be a little outstanding, try to be better than the resellers, and hopefully you'll get repeat customers.
Yep.
All right, Veronica, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you joining me. And like I say, we'll have you on in the future on a regular show. We'll work something out. Yeah. Guys, again, typically I'm on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I say come hell or high water. The only time I missed it is when I had to prep for a colonoscopy. If you've ever done that, you know what that issue is with that. So if you guys haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit on your way out. And we shall see you next Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.